3, 2.
What's going on, folks? Hold on. My bad, my bad. What's going on, folks? Welcome to Pro Fan Talk. My name is Marcus Thomas. Thank you for joining me. And as you can see, I have the struggle bus in effect. That's a graphic I created. Just thought it was funny that with the 4th of July falling on a Tuesday, then you got to go back to work on a Wednesday. Man, that Wednesday I was on the struggle bus, and I know a lot of other people stayed up late, out eating the barbecue, drinking, watching the fireworks, and then had to go to work the next day. Yeah, that's bad business, man. That's bad business. But we made it. We made it through. It was a crazy sports cycle. But it was funny, man. I see my people in there. Sean Young, what's good? Sean is always number one out the limo, man. I appreciate that. My grandson Chris is in the building. Pete, what's going on, Pete? Brian Daly, my guy. What's going on, folks? What is going on, man? Just a good day. Glad to get through another holiday, man. I like to let everybody know now, July is my birthday month. So next week on the 13th, that will be a day after my birthday. My birthday is on the 12th. So I will be celebrating, probably going into the weekend, but just like to let everybody know, because normally when you tell people, say, hey, my birthday is this week, I ain't even know. Why didn't you tell me? Nah. So I let everybody know my birthday is July 12th. If you want to bring gifts, bring gifts. Nah, I tell people, hey, if you want to give me a gift, find somebody and have them subscribe to the channel. Have them subscribe to Pro Fan Talk. And they can also subscribe to my own YouTube channel, man. That's the gift for me. But if you do want to send me anything, I take 2 of them because I am a twin. So I got a twin sister. So I always say I like to take 2 gifts, right? But it is all good, man. It has been a crazy sports cycle. Talking about Kelee Ringo, Devon Allen. Yes, Chris, that is a shameless birthday plug. Don't get it twisted. I am leaving no misunderstanding. So everybody know. There is no misunderstanding. I'm wondering if my sister's going to pop in a minute. She'll be laughing. If my sister pops in, everybody say something to her that I was talking about the birthday. What's up, Jake? What's going on, brother? But yeah, man, we had a lot of fun, man. I saw bits and pieces. I didn't watch it, but I saw bits and pieces of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. That was pretty funny. I love how they make it. They try to make it like dramatic because it was, with the storms and everything going on, it got postponed. And then Joey Chestnut comes out trying to pump everybody up, looking for the other contestants, like, we're going to get this thing done and all of that kind of stuff. I just thought it was funny how they presented it and tried to make it, like a Rocky moment. This dude's done won like every hot dog eating contest since 2005. But that was funny. That was funny. It's fun to watch. But a day closer to our Eagles coming back on the scene. And it's like every week, man, it's just something. And I think it is basically the fan base. We're getting impatient. We're getting impatient. And you guys have heard me say this for the last couple of weeks, especially me being a former player. I know what OTAs means. Like, none of that stuff matters. That's why I don't get too hyped about it. I said the same thing last year. I don't really get into what we have as a team until week 4. Because week 4, you can kind of brush the rust off. Everybody's figuring out how to tackle again because you don't tackle in camp. So you're brushing off that rust and you're really finally getting into it, and you really see what type of rookies you have, what they doing at game speed in a real game and not preseason, all of that kind of stuff. So All of that stuff takes a little bit to settle in and for the mix to everything to start gelling together, and then you really see what you have. I do think we have an advantage this year just because of the momentum coming from last year. A lot of expectations. A lot of people are on us thinking that we're not going to be as good this year as we were last year because the schedule is tougher. And you know me, I'm always saying, well, what about the other teams? Their schedule is tough too. And stop looking at the Philadelphia Eagles like we didn't get better. Stop doing that. You still got all these people, the media heads, and whoever's left at ESPN. After that, what do they call it? Red Day. They tried to rip off of the Game of Thrones, the Red Wedding. And it was like after everybody and their mama got fired from ESPN. But you still get people disrespected. You still get, Sims and a couple other people, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Listing Jalen Hurts as like 7th best QB and all that kind of stuff. Like at the end of the day, it don't really matter. At the end of the day, when we start playing, we will know what we have. By week 4, we should know what kind of team we have, and more importantly, we should know by week 4 what we got in Brian Johnson, what we got in Sean Desai. Those are the key factors that we really, really need to worry about. So it's kind of crazy, but that's the way it goes. And let me see something real quick. Let me look up. Let me get the plans. Let me see who was in the house. And I do think. Where'd you guys go? Yep. I do think we have our 5 out the limo. And as you guys know, my first 5 out the limo is brought to you by FanUp. FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports. Daily MLB contests and more, win great prizes. Sign up today. Use the promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points, a $50 value. Go and get that FanUp app from the Android store, the Google store, whatever. The App Store, wherever you get it, wherever put your bets. Do it with the FanUp and get your $50 worth. Where we go? Uh-oh. There we go. Remember I said about the struggle bus? There we go. And we're back. But one of the things that popped up in the media today, and it seems like we keep going back to the stuff that happened in the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden this story comes out of nowhere. The NFL is saying that, hey, maybe the Eagles just should have put on better shoes. They wouldn't have been slipping around at the Super Bowl. And most people were like, you got to be kidding me. That field was atrocious. For them to give some lame excuse talking about we should have wore better shoes is a cop-out. When anybody played in Arizona before, it wasn't a problem. Why is it a problem on the biggest stage in the NFL? Why is it a problem at the Super Bowl? Not to mention, all of the paint and stuff that they put on that grass makes it hard. Not to mention the halftime show that's a half hour long. Everybody and the dancers are trampling on the field and all of that kind of stuff. That stuff plays a role. And the shameful part about it is, I guarantee you, that will never happen again. That will never happen again. They'll do whatever they got to do to make sure the halftime show doesn't trample the field and make it a hot mess like it was in the Super Bowl. So I don't know whoever the next performer is. Are they going to have a raised platform? Like, what are they going to do? But they're going to do something because they are not going to let that happen again. And if anybody's played on a hard surface, you got cleats on. Sometimes you can get on turf, and you got to remember, some of those fields are more akin to like golf greens. Just think of like a golf green, like maybe the the edge of the golf greens where the grass is a little bit higher. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of those fields are. And it's soft, so your cleats can dig in and you can really get some traction in that turf. So that's what happens when you have professionals dealing with your field. And for the Super Bowl field to be in that type of condition is a damn shame. It's a shame. And then for them to give some weak excuse, like y'all wore the wrong shoes, like both teams wore the wrong shoes. Come on, man. Like, stop playing with that. Stop playing with that. Then you had CJGJ. He made some comments. I know Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham kind of made a joke about it. Like, if we had a good field, we would have showed you what's up. And I always kind of cringe with stuff like that because I'm like, it's a little too late now. You know what I mean? It's over. Ain't no use in crying about it. It is what it is. Just keep it moving. So, but I thought that was, and to me, that was weird by the NFL because usually the NFL is like on that. This is the league that'll find you if you don't have your socks pulled up all the way. And the biggest game of the year, the most watched sporting event of the year, and they don't have their stuff together, and they making excuses. And I thought that was kind of crazy. So I don't know. That seemed a little suspect from the league, but after the league has not had a good batting average the last few years, from everything that happened with Daniel Snyder, and some of the stuff with the coaches and the hiring and the diversity, and they've been striking out a couple times, and you just not on the biggest stage of the year, man. Not on the biggest stage of the year. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, but in any case, what's up, Greg? I feel you, brother. You agree with the poll? The poll is, where is my poll? I didn't even put the poll up. Hold on. Let me see if I can get the poll. I usually have it scrolling at the bottom. Let me see. Go. I can't even find it. There we go. There we go. Scroll like ticker. Boom. There will be at least one more free agent signing by Roseman before camp starts. Before camp starts. And I think that is going to happen. So we'll see. I think that might have something to do with what's going on with Kelee Ringo. We'll get into that in a minute. Sean, that's interesting. And I never heard that before. But that kind of tracks. I never heard nobody say that before. I never even thought about it like that. But I was like, damn, you're absolutely right. I totally forget about that being a State Farm stadium and him being the poster child for State Farm on all the commercials and all that kind of stuff. So you might have something there, man. You might have something there. It certainly tracks. But they screwed it up, and they know they did. They know they did. So what's up, Swope? Marcos. He calls me Marcos. The line will make teams have to rush the passes and get rid of the ball quickly, which allows Marcus short passes across the middle. Linebackers and short coverage. Yeah. Linebackers is not a concern. It's an X factor. Not a concern, though. Because I have no doubt that the guys that we have can play. You already know how I feel about Nakobe Dean. But the X factor is, what is Sean Desai going to do with all of these pieces? That's the X factor. So concern, again, I gotta wait until like game 4 to really, say I'm concerned. But that is definitely an X factor because we don't know what we have right now with our linebackers. But at this level, you'll be fine because you can take an average linebacker. If they're in a good scheme, you can make an average linebacker a good linebacker. You can make a good linebacker a great one. So, I mean, a lot of people wasn't crazy about TJ Edwards when he was here. And TJ Edwards balled last year. Matter of fact, the year before, he had a good year. And then going into last year, 2022, there were concerns about TJ Edwards because some people just didn't he didn't pass the muster test. And not that because he didn't play, I think it's because he just didn't have enough cachet on his name. So, Ryan, I'm messing with you, dog. You good, dude. You good. But yeah, man, with the whole thing with TJ, man, he just didn't have enough, umph on his name because he didn't put up great numbers. So people thought he was an average linebacker and he came in and did his thing. So you call that what you want. He was a good linebacker. He played great last year. And I expect the same thing this year with our linebacking core. And again, I keep saying this and I will continue to say it. Nakobe Dean is going to make us angrier at Jonathan Gannon for not playing him more last season. I think there was definitely some situations last year that we could have used Nakobe Dean's quickness on the field. So I think keeping him off the field will prove to be it was a mistake. You can't cry with spilled milk now, but we'll see what's going to happen. But I think just like last year, our defense is going to set the tone. Our defense is going to set the tone. What's up, Mike? So we got it together. I'm not concerned is the wrong word. Concerned is definitely the wrong word. I am anticipating seeing what they will do with the pieces on the board. I said this last week, and it's like we got too many. Anybody that plays chess, we got a lot of queens on the board, man. And if you play chess, queen is the most powerful piece because it can move in any direction. And that's what we've got. We got it on our defensive line. We got one with Nakobe Dean, and definitely in our secondary. Now, if for whatever reason, if our secondary fails, then you should be looking to coaches because there should be no reason whatsoever that our defensive secondary is suspect. No reason. None. Everybody's talking about the young kid that we just got, and Ringo when he finally gets signed. And you know what? It seems like for whatever reason, everybody is forgetting about Avonte Maddox and how good he played last year. It was a problem when he went down. We were dealing with the Josiah Scott experience, and it was not good. He came around at the end and played some quality minutes towards the end, but in the beginning, he was a liability, in my opinion. He got better, but when he first got in there, we were missing Avonte Maddox, something awful. So having him healthy and Bradbury and Slay and Blankenship with another year of experience and Emmons. And it's funny because we got to get Emmons from is it Emmons or Edmonds? Edmonds from Pittsburgh. But I remember seeing him earlier in the year when we played Pittsburgh at home, and AJ Brown caught that ball in the middle of both DBs. And Edmonds was one of those guys. So we'll see how it works out. We got experience everywhere, man, and I think our defensive line is going to be deadly. And I just want Jalen Carter to be as advertised. That's it. Everything else will fall into place. Everything. Jalen Carter's got to be as advertised. So our NASCAR package should be good because we got – think about it like this. You look at what Hassan Reddick did last year. Hassan Reddick was unstoppable. Should have been Defensive Player of the Year in my book. He was unstoppable. Hassan Reddick runs like a 4.65. He's fast off the ball. He can bend, get around that corner. But Nolan Smith is much faster than Hassan Reddick. That's a problem for offenses to deal with. When you get speed like that coming off the corner, and you got to worry about a guy that had 17, 18 sacks or whatever it was for Hassan Reddick, and now you got to worry about somebody on the other side that's faster than he is, you got to make a decision. You got to make a decision. You got a business decision as an offensive coordinator, because where do you focus? Hassan Reddick now, I mean, he was last year. He's somebody you got a game plan. So when you go into your meeting room, you circle that guy's number and you watch film on him. Period. The hell with what everybody else is doing. You have a day devoted to that guy because you have to game plan him because he's that good. So now that you got a game plan him, what are you going to do with whoever's on the other side? You still got BG over there, and BG got better. BG is one of those rare cases where coming off a rehab, he was better. And what people don't understand, when you get injured like that, you sit out a year, you rehab, your body gets fresh. Your body, that's a whole year he lost. So he had a whole year for his body to heal. And I'm not talking about his Achilles. I'm talking about everything else that normally gets beat up in the season. He had a year off. That's why he was so, shout out to him for getting that rehab regimen in and getting himself ready, game shape, and being able to go full tilt. So now you got a game plan, Hassan Reddick, and you still got BG to worry about, and you still got Nolan Smith to worry about, and Milton Williams to worry about, and Jordan Davis, and Jalen Carter. We got problems on our defensive line. Everywhere you look is a problem. Fletcher Cox is a problem. Brandon Graham is a problem. Hassan Reddick is a problem. Jalen Carter is going to be a problem. Jordan Davis is going to be a problem. And Jordan Davis done lost about 30 pounds. So all of that stuff that Seth was saying in the news, where he was making all them jokes about him to tell mama to stop sending him them sweet potato pies and all of that kind of stuff, he did it. He lost weight. He looked slimmed down. He still looked big as all get out. But coming off that ball, he's got quickness. And it looks like, don't know yet, but it looks like Jordan Davis is going to be in more on passing situations where he can rush the passer, not just run defense. That makes him more versatile and more dangerous. And on top of that, that's another problem. Jordan Davis is big enough where you got to say, do we double team him? If you double team him, you got Milt Williams. You still got Josh Sweat. That's another one. We've got problems all along our defensive line. When I say problems, I'm talking about problems for the offense to deal with. Whoever we're playing, they got to deal with a bunch of problems on our defensive line, and they don't want no part of that. None of it. Jalen Carter is going to have his chip on his shoulder because he's trying to get away from the nonsense that happened at Georgia. Forgive me, I don't want to say nonsense, but he don't want to. He's trying to get away from that situation and distance himself from it. So the best way you can do that is how you play. Keep your nose clean, stay out of trouble, stay off South Street past 1 o'clock, and you'll be good. You know what I mean? So, Ryan, man, you right, but they was trying to do that last year, and look what happened. Here's the thing. You can get rid of the ball quick, But eventually, you're going to have to pay for that. You're going to have to pay for it. You give up one thing to get something else. But what are you sacrificing? What are you sacrificing? Because rest assured, there's a defense that can stop short routes. There's a defense that can stop quick routes. You can drop or bring in a package with an extra linebacker if based on down and distance and what you've seen on tape. You know they're going to run those 5 to 10 quick outs, 3-step drops, and the quarterback to get rid of the ball. And you should be able to read these defenses enough to know where the hot routes are coming from. So quick routes are good, but you can't eat on those all of the time. Even the 49ers, the way they were playing the game. When Brock Purdy came in, his bread and butter, let me get the ball to Debo, let me get the ball to CMC. Quick hits, 3-step drop, get the ball to the running back, get the ball to the slot, get the ball to the running back. And because those guys are elite players and making people miss, that made Purdy look good, and that gave him some confidence. And it protected him for the most part. You look at how he got hurt in the playoff game with us. You got to drop back and throw the ball eventually. We're going to have something for a 3-step drop, and when you hit that 3rd step, somebody's not open. You got to look somewhere else. That can be defended. Now the clock is ticking because here comes Hassan. You got business decisions, and they made the wrong one. So, yes, Ryan, they can. The game is evolving and trying to get rid of the ball, but you got to have pieces to complement that, and you can't go to that well too many times. You just can't do it. So, our Frank, what's going on, brother? Defenses now are getting too fast, and we're one of them. We're one of them. And don't sleep on how fast or how quick Nakobe Dean is, because remember, I don't think Nakobe Dean ran a 40 time in the combine, so nobody really knows. You just see his play on the field, and he's got a nose for the ball, and that's what I want to see. I'm good with that. You can make a mistake full speed, and he seems to be a smart kid and taking on the role as a leader on that team already as a second-year player. So I think we're in a good shape, man. I think we're in good shape. So we've got a lot more time coming. The Kelee Ringo thing is causing some questions. But one of the things, let me see. This was somebody brought this up. On the offense, let's switch to the offensive side of the ball. And talking about my friend and yours, Quez Watkins. You know, Quez Watkins was taking a lot of heat, rightfully so, about some of his play during the year. Of course, everything culminated in this play in the Super Bowl, but let me be honest with you. This wasn't the play that did it for me. The play that did it for me was this play against the Redskins. This cost us the game. Hold on to the ball. If he holds on to the ball, I believe that's a touchdown. Or at least we're in the red zone. And I believe we would have kicked the field goal and went up by 10, I think, if I remember correctly. But in any case, during the season is what kind of soured me. Like, dude, you getting the opportunity. Everybody done blasted you out for being as fast as you are. And even when you get past people, you're not coming up with the big plays. And like I keep saying, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, period. That's how you become elite. As much crap as we gave Nelson Aguilar, you go back and look at Nelson Aguilar's highlights. That joker made some catches and he made some plays. But it was just that one drop that he had that went viral. And then people just ran with it and was like, y'all better. Nelson Aguilar was a pretty good receiver. Arguably better than Quez Watkins. But I'm expecting Quez to have a good year this year. Because it's on him. He's going to get his opportunities, and he must take advantage of those opportunities. We can't be putting no more balls on the ground, bro. So I'm expecting big things out of him, because you got to remember, we got a year's worth of tape with AJ Brown. We got 2 years worth of tape with Devontae Smith. You got 2 years worth of tape with Dallas Goedert. The memo was out on those guys. So we get 2 number 1 receivers. A.J. Brown is a game planner. That means, like I was saying, you got a game plan. He's a guy you got to worry about. We've got three people you got to worry about on our offense. That you got a game plan on our offense. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Hurts. Most people have one. Rob, late as always during the summer. It's all good, Rob. But, we got 3 headaches that defenses have to deal with on the field at the same time. So they got to deal with that. Now, what that's going to do is that should give Quez Watkins some opportunities to get open because all the focus is going to be somewhere else. Because A.J. Brown has shown you that sometimes he needs to be double teamed. And if you can get defenses in that situation and pick up on what's going on, that's how you game plan, put people in motion, and you take advantage of the mismatch. That's how you do it. It makes it easier when you have a player like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So I'm looking, and I said this before, I'm looking for more passes from Jalen Hurts, more dropbacks. I'm expecting more of an air attack this year and more rushes because I think we're going to run the running backs more. So both things can be true. We can have more passing attempts and we can also have more rushes minus the RPOs. That can happen. Both things can be mutually true. So we got some things we can do, and I think it's going to work. But they got to do it. So back to that X factor. We don't know what the coaches are going to do. We don't know what they're going to bring to the table. I trust them, but you got to have to see. But we're going to pause for a minute, and we're going to let you see what's up with Philly Sports Trips.
Hey, Birds fans, the NFL schedule has arrived and Philly Sports Trips has all the details now. Visit the site phillysportstrips.com. This is sure to be an epic season. Be sure to go there now to make sure that you don't get shut out. Join us in Tampa, LA, Seattle, or when we get revenge in Kansas City. Don't want to fly? No problem. Gather up your crew and hop aboard one of our signature boisterous bus trips to DC or New York. Sign up now and make sure to mention A2D. Don't miss out on the best Philly fan experience anywhere. Philly Sports Trip customers always stay at the best hotels and meet NFL legends. Book today.
Yeah, man. Get that sports trip to go. It's going to be a lit year this year. And I think the Eagles faithful are going to travel hard on these away trips. So it's going to be some good stuff. We're going to take over a couple stadiums this year. Jalen Hurts done lit the fuse. And I think our fan base is going to travel very well this season. But one of the big topics of conversations this week on my Facebook group, Kelee Ringo. Oh, where'd he go? There we go. Kelee Ringo. I was in Philadelphia Eagles fan group on Facebook. Big conversation about that. Big conversation. What's going on with Kelee Ringo? Normally, rookies, there's not too many rookies that hold out. The last rookie that held out was Joey Bosa in 2016. Yeah. But he was a number 3 overall pick. Things like that happen with the first round and all that kind of stuff. That is not uncommon. A 4th rounder, it's a little bit sticky. However, it is not uncommon for rookie contracts to take a while to get done. Because the way things go with these rookie contracts, once you sign that rookie contract, that's your contract. So that's changed the landscape a little bit because now these agents, they trying to wring as much money as they can out of these organizations for these rookie contracts because you stuck with it. You stuck with it, and you see, it's getting, depending on what position you play, harder and harder to play yourself out of these contracts. You got to be Pro Bowl level, and it's just weird, man. And I'm saying that looking at the situation that happened with Miles Sanders and everything's going with the running back market. Even if you are an elite level running back, the value for you is in the dumps right now. And it's just weird. It's just like a league thing because nobody's paying for it. Nobody's paying for it. So if everybody in the league is setting that value, there's literally nothing you can do. Unless you come across somebody that is just so head and shoulders above everybody else, then he can bring the value up because anybody that's very similar can eat off that value increase. So I don't know what's going to happen. Somebody made a comment that maybe they're trying to move him from cornerback to safety. And maybe cornerback has a chance to make a little bit more money than the safety does. But you just never know. Look at the whole situation with Gardner Johnson and why he left. My opinion, I wish they would have kept him and paid him the money. Because he was worth it, in my opinion. Whatever he was asking. Howie doing what Howie does, he said he wasn't worth it. So he took the offer from Detroit Lions, and we ended up signing Slay back. Because if you remember, Slay thought he was out of here because he thought they were going to keep CJGJ. But for whatever reason, it looks like Gardner Johnson overshot the market a little bit. But the market was what it was, and I think that he was a little bit undervalued because I thought he was that good of a player. He earned his money. He was another one. He got hurt, but when he wasn't in the game, that was a clear step down for our defense. We were better when he played, period. There was no argument about that. We were much better when CJGJ was on the field. Same thing with Avonte Maddox. So I don't think I think he overshot the market, but I don't think he was wrong in his logic. He was hurt for 4 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it was, and he still was tied for the league in interceptions. So you put in work like that. But I think Dorsey, I think he was looking for more money. I think the Eagles didn't want to pony up to what he wanted. And then, of course, the Eagles haggle down, and he's trying to haggle up, and you're supposed to try to meet somewhere in the middle. That's how you negotiate. But the Eagles didn't want to pay him what he thought he was worth. But I can't go on somebody, get on somebody for going after their worth. You don't do that. You don't do that. Whatever he was getting paid, I think he outplayed that contract. Absolutely. But Roseman and the crew had other things in mind, and that didn't fit. So they made the business decision. I think they made the right decision. I still wish they would have kept him, but I think Howie made the right decision. So, and we'll see how that turns out next year with him being in Detroit. Because ultimately, if he doesn't go to the Super Bowl, you're not in a better situation. And now I think Detroit is trending up, but they're going to have some issues just like every other team does. They got a lot of rookies they got big expectations. I was very surprised when they signed Gibbs and got rid of Swift because Swift did work. I'm glad he's here in Philly. Swift did work for them. Now, I don't know what happened or why they would. It just seems weird that they would bail on him that quickly. You know what I mean? So I don't know if there was personal things or maybe him and the coach didn't vibe or whatever. Stuff like that happens all the time. So I don't know, man. It's weird stuff. Weird stuff. Now, this story came up. My man Devon Allen. Fastest receiver in the league, he claims to be. And he mentions DK Metcalf and Tyreek Hill and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, nah, they can't get with me. And I'm like, dude, okay. You got a right to say it. You've been on the Olympic team and the hurdles and all that kind of stuff. But can you drop your hips and come out of a route and get separation and catch the ball and all that kind of good stuff? That's what we need you to do. Because I've seen plenty of people with speed that didn't translate. So you had that one play last preseason where you ran by the safety and caught that deep ball. But ever since then, and we have to understand that the Eagles know a little bit more than we do. A lot more than we do. When you watching guys every day. Because if he's that fast, he's much faster than Devontae Smith. He's much faster than Quez Watkins. He's much faster than A.J. Brown. When you're talking about you can beat the cheetah and DK ran like a 10.3 100-meter dash at 245 pounds, when that's elite level speed. So I'll believe you if you have elite level speed, but I got to see it translate to the routes. Are you running by anybody? Are they putting you in a situation where you can do that? Because if you say you can do it, somebody on that field, somebody on that coaching staff has got to have you on tape doing it. So it's got to be able to translate. So I hope we can put that to the test. I hope we can put it to the test and see what the deal is. Whatever he did in preseason last year, I want to see it again. I was surprised that he didn't try to do special teams. Covey was just not, in my opinion, Covey just wasn't the guy for kickoff and punt returns. He just, crash test Covey wasn't getting it done. So there's a role that could be filled. But even with that, man, I mean, we can get into that another day. The rules that they're using with the special team stuff, we'll never see another Devin Hester. We'll never see another somebody like Eric Metcalf or Brian that played for the Redskins, Brian Mitchell that played for the Eagles for a little bit. We're not going to see Dante Hall and we're not going to see special teamers like that anymore because they don't let you return the ball anymore. So maybe another punt returner will come back, but we won't see anything like we used to see. Devin Hester we'll never see another Devin Hester again. Never. The game won't allow it, and it's a shame. But back to the original point, I want to see Devon Allen do something because I want to see something that he can. You got to be able to utilize that speed, man. If you got speed like that, in my opinion, it's up to coaches to figure out a way to use it. Be it a decoy, because and let's look at it real like this: if he's even close to the speed that he's claiming that he has, that's D-Jax type speed. That's elite level, over the top, can't nobody catch him, gone type speed. And if he's anywhere even close to that, you put him to the test. Dress him in the game, sit him over the top, whatever. But you test that theory to see what you got. Now, I don't believe that the Eagles wouldn't. Because, again, they're with these guys every day. They know what the deal is. They know what they're capable of. But in this social media era, when you say stuff like that and you put it out in the ethos, I need receipts, man. Back it up. Because I would have a big problem. Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. I would have a big problem if he is as fast as he says he is and he's not playing. I got a problem with that. Because that's the weapon that we're not using. That goes back to the stuff I always say about Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells and Jimmy Johnson, coaches that were hard-nosed coaches that knew how to make the right decision to get the best person for a particular job. I don't need you to do everything. I need you to do this one thing, and you do this one thing so well that nobody can stop you from doing this one thing. And whenever you come on the field, everybody knows what you're doing. Everybody knows where you're going. They're either going to run it or use you as a decoy. But if you've got that type of speed and he's not playing, I got a problem with that. So let's see what's going to happen. Put him to the test. And again, dude, Sean, you're on it, bro. Willie Gault, James Jett, Ed Reed, Goodman. Yeah, absolutely. Fun fact, I ran against James Jett in college. We went to, I ran track my senior year in college to get prepared for the combine. And we ran, I believe it was called the Dogwood Relays in Tennessee. And I had the chance to run against James Jett, and yeah, he was as fast as advertised. And he had a weird running style. He had a very odd gait. Like he was very tight because he had guns and like look at him. He looked like he had been lifting, and he ran like a football player. Let me say it like that. He did not run like a track guy, but boy was he fast. So. But I want to see if we can get that out of him, man. Let's put it to work. Let's put it to work. So good point, Sean. We gotta figure out a way to use that. So, and that's another person that, hey, Quez, if you as fast as you say you are, let's go. Because I remember all of that talk he had last year about he was the fastest guy in the league. And I'm like, okay, I don't believe it. I still ain't seen nobody as fast as Cheetah. The only person I've seen fast as the Cheetah, and I'm going all the way back, Marshall Faulk, Devin Hester, Dante Hall. I'm trying to think of who else may have been like that fast. And I'm trying to Deion Sanders, Darryl Green. Most of you guys probably don't remember Darryl Green from the Redskins. He was super fast. I know there's some other ones that may just nobody had ever heard of. Straight up, Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson ran a 4.3, and Bo Jackson was 230 pounds, man. Bo Jackson was a freak. Herschel wasn't even that fast. So, but I'm saying all that to say, if you truly have somebody that fast, you gotta find a way to use them. Gotta find a way. I think I was always a big fan of how quick Darren Sproles was. And like I still don't think Darren Sproles gets enough credit for what he did here. I just like Darren Sproles was a problem. And I think we got guys that can do that type of damage if we use them correctly. You know what I'm saying? So again, I keep using this phrase, the X factor, because X factor meaning it's unknown what Desai and what Brian Johnson it's going to do. The reason why I'm giving Brian Johnson the benefit of the doubt is because of his relationship with Jalen Hurts and him already being in the system. And even though he's only 35 years old, being a coach since he was 22, he's got enough experience. He's got more than enough experience. And he's got that relationship. So him and Jalen Hurts are going to talk. And they're going to work some things out. And the way Sirianni is, I believe that synergy is going to be good. And they're going to do the logical, common sense things that Steichen didn't do, in my opinion. Steichen left a lot on the table because, sometimes we had those blinders on. RPO, RPO, RPO. But you couldn't really argue because nobody could stop it. But it ended up getting Jalen hurt and costing him an MVP, I believe. So we got to bring back some of the common sense to it. And we'll see what happens. So, but he being Brian Johnson, he's got to show that he can call a game and really leave defenses head scratching. Because Devontae Smith is a problem. A.J. Brown is a problem. Somebody give me a tight end better than Dallas Goedert. That's not named Kelsey. You got to think about it. I'm sure there is. The question is, or the point is, you got to think about it. So Dallas Goedert is up in that conversation. You can argue about why you think one is better than the other, but the fact that Dallas Goedert is even in that conversation as one of the best tight ends in the league, that means he's a problem. So when you run it back, Kittles, absolutely, Sean. Kittles is a problem. You got to game plan him. You got to game plan Goddard if we use him right. I don't think Steichen used him right. But I won't say that. He did use him right. But it always got caught up in the RPO stuff. And I still say one of the best RPOs you can do is regular old, plain old play action fake. Play action still works. And with the running back room that we have now, there is absolutely no reason why the Eagles can't run a true play action. Well, we can't have a package with play action and run off of that. It should be no problem whatsoever. So we got a lot of pieces to play with. I'm very interested to see what they're going to do. And we gotta, we got to get it popping. Brian Johnson, he's got a lot of expectations. And with the relationship, and I always forget how long they've known each other. I believe Brian Johnson played for Jalen Hurts' father in high school. So the relationship between him and Hurts has been established. And there's nothing better than having a good relationship with your star player. Nothing better. Because now you're talking about, you get into the realm of unspoken stuff. You know what you're thinking without saying it. I got you guys heard me say earlier, I got a twin sister. I can look at my twin sister and know what she's thinking. She can look at me and know what I'm thinking sometimes. You got that unspoken communication, and that is invaluable at this level because everybody doesn't have that. Everybody, coaches and players, most of them really don't get along, especially if things aren't great. So when you have a relationship like that, like these two have, that is extremely rare. And I think we're going to get the most out of it because I think Jalen is a coach on the field, and I think Brian Johnson knows Jalen better than probably anybody else. Especially when you're going back, and he played for family. So you're talking about, so Jalen Hurts probably watched Brian Johnson play for his dad in high school. Brian Johnson's 35, Jalen Hurts is what, 24? So there's a 10, 11-year gap. So, and also, Brian Johnson is not going to put at least I'm going to think, and this is my opinion, Brian Johnson is not going to put Jalen Hurts in harm's way. That logic, that common sense, I have to believe as a player that's been on the sideline and been in situations where I'm looking at the coaches like, dude, what are y'all doing? I remember way back in '93, I can't remember who we were playing. Kotite had sent in a play, and it was like 3rd and short or 4th and short. And Seth came over there and was like, yo, we got Heath Sherman back here. He's one of the best short yardages in the game right now. Like, they knew what they had on the squad, and just the coaches and the players that just it wasn't vibing. It wasn't vibing. Gave the ball to Herschel, I think. He didn't get the first down. Herschel was never a power back. Herschel was fast as all get out, but Herschel didn't have great acceleration through the hole, and he ran too high. So he wasn't a shifty in between the tackles back where Wolfie was. Heath Sherman was. So, we know what we got. He knows we know your personnel. And I think we are in a very good situation with that on offense. Defense is a little bit, because hopefully all of them feelings will be gone because they didn't hire what's his name? The guy they wanted that was the defensive back assistant. Because everybody thought that he was going to get the job. So Sean Desai's got to make friends. And I still don't understand why they hired Patricia, but I think they maybe, I don't know. I was going to say, maybe they hired Patricia thinking that Slay was going to be gone. Maybe they had that conversation earlier in the year or whatever. Who knows? But it is what it is now. You getting paid the money, deal with it. That simple. That simple. So a lot of stuff going on. Lastly, before I end, gotta say, shout out, big congrats to Jordan Mailata. Getting married last weekend, and everybody saw the video when he was singing Isn't She Lovely? While I believe it was his wife and her father were having a dance and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. But I got something for you. 4 years ago, I believe it was, I was at Vi singing him as Luau. And that's the first time I heard Jordan sing. And Jordan got pipes, like, for real. Y'all saw him on The Masked Singer and all that kind of stuff. Jordan is legit. But I want y'all to hear this because this is from my phone. This is what I recorded. So hopefully it doesn't come in too loud. But check out Jordan Mailata. Yeah, man, he can sing, man. He can sing. I don't know why I ain't bring the pictures that we took. It was a picture. It was me, Jordan. I got a couple pictures with Vi. And it was one good picture with me, Jordan, and Barrett Brooks. And it was me. I think it was me, Vi, Reno Mahe, Barrett Brooks, and somebody else that was there. I had a blast, man. That was a blast. Vi knows how to throw a party. I gotta try to get Vi on this show, man. That's my dude, man. Vi's a good dude. But yeah, I'm about to shut it down, man. We had a good show tonight, man. It was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of conversations going on, man. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Smash that like. If you're not a member of A2D Radio on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Also, Mosey on over to YouTube, Pro Fan Talk on YouTube, and hit that subscribe button. There's enough room for everybody to eat. You know what I mean? So we're going to keep doing it again. I appreciate you, Sean. I appreciate you, everybody that's joining in. We keeping this thing growing. Come back next week. Invite a friend so we can continue to grow, man. My goal is to I want to be able to like have a show where we get like 100 people watching. That's the goal. So I'm working on. You guys have to let me know. Hit me up on social media, on my Facebook, or my Insta, something like that. Because I thought about maybe backing my show back a half hour and going from 7:30 to 8:30. Because it seems like sometimes we get a bump up in the numbers the later the show goes. So, maybe my show's coming on while people trying to eat dinner, stuff like that. Just thinking out loud. But if you got some ideas that help me grow, hey man, I'm a player and I can always be coached. So I will see you guys next week. Don't forget, next week will be a day after my birthday, but you can count it as my birthday. I'm not gonna hold that against you. So be all good. I'm gonna have some fun. You guys be safe going into this weekend, and I will see you guys next week. I'll see you on the next play. Peace, man. Have a good week.